it's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you can see, today I've got a library haul for you guys. Because, yeah, I've been to a library lately, so I decided to show you the books that I found, really. It's a mix of, well, actually, there's only two Norwegian books, but yeah, it's a mix of Norwegian English and other stuff. And yeah, let's get to them. First, we have Spare Us, a parody. So this is a parody, as you might have guessed, from the Spare book that Prince Harry wrote earlier this year. And have I read the Prince Harry his own book? No. Am I a big Prince Harry fan? No. Am I reading this basically just because it's a parody? Yes. I love humor, and also I kind of feel like because like when his original book came out, I feel like a lot of people talked about it in the news and they did reviews and stuff. So I kind of feel like I already knew what it was about. And some people like I don't really feel like I have to read it. And some people talked about how like they already like if you read it a week after it came out, it already kind of felt like you had read it because most of the good parts had been talked about in the news. So yeah, I mean yeah, I discovered this earlier this year and I just yeah, it looks just so cool and fun. Also kind of interesting because earlier this year when I found it, it just had a title and then it said like written by Anonymous. But now I see inside this it says with Bruno Vincent. So that's interesting. So now it has a person in it. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I'm all for that. It's not that big. For some reason I thought it was bigger. It's just like it's just 101 pages, but still a good, fun little book, I think. And then we have a Norwegian book, Vi Fattigfolk, of Anna Sabina Figur. So this is a non-fiction book. This is not either that big, but yeah, it's a book about being poor. You might be like confused, like what? Norway isn't Norway one of the richest countries in the world? Some people say we are the richest in the world, which I suppose maybe we are, like with the oil, and since we don't have that big of population, not sure, like how you define that stuff. But yeah, we have a lot of people who are rich. Well, a lot of people. We don't have few people who are rich. We have a lot of people who have enough money. And then, yeah, we do have also quite a lot of poor people. Like this last few years, we had long and longer queues to to the food markets, like where they get food for free, and yeah, long and long waiting lists for people who need help during Christmas, stuff like that. So yeah, reading about Norwegian poor people, I think it's gonna be an interesting read. Then we have Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. So this is the second book in this universe. I've read the first one actually on audiobook, and I was thinking like, should I do the second one on audio or not? So I was going back and forth. Ended up picking it up on in hardcover because simply I didn't find it on audio. So I was like, well, I might as well just switch to hardcover. And also at parts when I listened to the audiobook, I was just quite scared. And I think that's kind of like what a medium audiobook kind of does for a book. Like if it's scary, it kind of makes it doubly scary. Well, if you're reading a book, it's kind of maybe easier to like read it with one eye or just kind of skip the scary chapter or whatnot. So yeah. Also, I do know that the third book is coming up in 2025. So yeah, it's a little while too. I'm not quite sure if this one ends on a cliffhanger, but I do know that people are very interested to read the third book. That could just be because this world is so expanded in this book and such stuff. So I suppose, yeah, I mean, am I silly for reading it such a long time before the third book? Maybe. But I don't know, I kind of want to read it. So, yeah. Then we have one of my most anticipated reads of this year. I found it like, yeah, way back when I looked at anticipated reads for this year. And like first, it just kind of looks so nice from the shallowness of it, from the shallowness. But like from the if I just look at it quickly on the surface level, was also what I'm thinking about. Because this is about a teen, or like maybe she's 19, 18, well around that, and she's going traveling in Europe for the summer, and I always kind of like those kinds of stories. But then I kind of looked more into it, like after I got it from the library, and yeah, so it's it's a YA romance. One of the main characters has ADHD, the other one has autism. So yeah, loving that rep. And the book is Tilly in Technicolors by Maisie Eddings. This, I believe, is actually Maisie Eddings' first book, like first her debut book. If I'm not wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Yeah, I think it is because it doesn't really mention her other books. So yeah, I'm thinking it is. It actually already has a lot of praise at the start, which is kind of interesting because debut books don't often have praise in the start of it in them. So that's kind of fun because I believe. Oh yeah, sorry, it says like she has other books as well. But yeah, I believe that she has. Yeah, I mean this is the first printing of this book. It's not like reprinting, so it came out this year, and yet it still has like lots of praise. So that has to be good, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, kind of in a way, I've been kind of like leaning a bit more towards contemporary these last few weeks. So a good contemporary read, yes, looking forward to it. And then we have a book I found out like late in the year, but because of the offer, I just thought like, you know what, I have to have it. And also the title is just, and also the cover is just like, it's so good. I don't really need to know what it's about. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what it's about, but yeah, the author, Sarah Pascoe, in case you didn't know, she's a British comedian, very funny. She's also written other books, most of them non-fiction. But yeah, the title, Weirdo. And yeah, that is the cover. So you see someone like hiding in a duvet. And yeah, you know what? I'm kind of curious what it's about. You can see it. Right there. You know what? I want to check out what it's about. Give me a moment. About deep in Essex and in her own thoughts, Sophie had a feeling something was going to happen, and then it did. Chris had entered the pub and re-entered her life after Sophie had finally stopped thinking about him and regretting what she had done. So second chance romance? Sophie has a chance at creating a new ending and paying off her emotional debts. All she has to do is act exactly like a normal, well-adjusted person and not say any of her inner monologue out loud. If she can suppress her light paranoia, pornographic visualizations, and pathological lying, maybe she'll even end up getting the guy she wants. Yeah, this just sounds very, very fun. So yeah, very excited for that book. Weirdo by Sarah Pascoe. Then we have a book that came out actually a few years ago now. For some reason, I thought it came out like this year, last year. No, 2020. Though it was, I mean, don't we all kind of feel like 2022, like now it's kind of like a long year? Kind of still, I suppose maybe more like 2020 to like 2022, but still, it kind of feels like a long year. Like it's been 3 years or 4 years technically. It's weird. But yeah, the book I'm talking about is The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. So this is a historical book all about the the words that don't come into English Oxford Library. Sorry, English Oxford Dictionary, and and yeah, it's set around the First World War and kind of things to do like that. And yeah, I feel like this has kind of been around. I feel like at least a bit. Like I've heard about it here and there. So I don't really feel like I need to say that much more. If you don't know what it's about, you can just Google it, I suppose. I mean, that's a bit mean to like say Google it, but could Google most stuff. But yeah. Then we have The Library of the Dead by T.L. Hugo. So this is the first actually in the series. My library has the other books in the series, so if you like this, yeah. And yeah, it's a book set in Edinburgh, all about ghosts, ghouls, grimoires, and yeah, like I think there's like a magical library in here somewhere. I mean, it's called a library for dead. Maybe it's more like a library as like abstract thing. It's not a specific library. I'm not quite sure, but like just the title, the Library of the Dead. Of course, I'm gonna pick it up. I mean, yeah. So you know what? I'm radar for a while, and you know what? I thought, you know what? Why not pick it up now? And then next we have some Christmas books because yeah, me as everyone else, as a lot of people want to read some Christmas themed books because it's December, Christmas month. So we have All the Jingle Ladies by Beth Garrett. This is by a British author, so maybe not that well known for a lot of Americans, but yeah. And yeah, it's all based around this character, kind of like in Bad a Boy, because the main character she's the daughter of someone who wrote a Christmas jingle, so she kind of is associated with that song. So it's kind of like tired of that song, and yeah, people always talk about the song, and yeah, it's a Christmas rom com, and yeah, looked cheesy fun. And then we have White Out by Danielle Clayton, 15 Deduction, Nick Stone, Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon. I have Blackout, which I very much enjoy. A lot of people didn't enjoy it. I watched it. And yeah, this one, Whiteout, as you might guess, takes place around Christmas. Does it take place? Yeah, just before Christmas. So yeah, short stories around Christmas. I believe this is also is interconnected. So I might be wrong. And yeah, and then we have a book that I just kind of found randomly in the library. I still kind of do that. Sometimes find books randomly, and I quite like that. And yeah, this book is Murder on the Christmas Express by Alexandra Benedict. So yeah, this is kind of all about kind of like a Murder at the Orient Express parody, or parody uh, like kind of like a inspired-ish story, because it's kind of the same thing. It's one train, 17 stops, one killer, and it takes place on Christmas Eve. And yeah, looks like my kind of story. And then we have En kriminelt god jul, 15 svarte julefortellinger. So yeah, this is from the Norwegian books. So a guy, he's found 15 stories, well, a Norwegian guy, he's found 15 stories, and they're set around Christmas, I'm thinking. Probably, yeah. And so it's both stories like by Agatha Christie, Arthur Conan Doyle, but also by Norwegian authors like Jan Mellum, Gunnar Stolzen, so it's a mix. And yeah, kind of fun to, again, like, yeah. So I suppose I have two anthologies on this in this library hall, and yeah, I quite like myself an anthology. Then we are almost finished. We have something that's actually quite different. I think it's quite unique. Like wrong? I think it is unique. But you might arrest me if it's not. Maybe you can't. But it is actually a Norwegian YA Christmas story. Which, I mean, yeah, we have Norwegian YA authors, but one set in at Christmas. I don't believe we ever have had that. Now, yeah, I might be mistaken here, but I believe it's quite different. And yeah, it's been kind of described as Love Actually slash The Holy, or like kind of like those Christmassy, yeah, it's a Christmassy vibes story. But I feel like Love Actually probably is more of the vibe of it, because I feel like it's just kind of two main characters who are kind of getting into a relationship or like flirting and stuff. But I might be wrong here. Maybe there's more than just these two characters. But yeah, I mean, it's called A Kiss for Christmas, and yeah, and this cover is just lovely. So yeah, I've heard good things about it. So yeah, thinking I might read this maybe the Christmas weekend, maybe yeah, maybe around then. Thinking, I'm not quite sure, but yeah. And then last but not least, yesterday I found this, and it's not a book, but I went to the library and got it, so I'm gonna show it to you. It's the League of Super Pets. This one came out last year, and it's like a superhero story just based around like super animals. And I heard it's quite good. So I thought, you know what? That sounds cute and nice. So I'm gonna rent it and get it. And yeah, it's a DVD. Yes, I still use physical media because I'm quirky and adorable like that. And yeah, so that, my dear friends, is my library haul. I hope you have enjoyed it and have gotten some interesting thoughts from maybe you'll pick up them out yourself or not. I don't know. And I'll see you soon. Bye.